Hello again, everyone. This is Joe, and in this technical analysis of the stock market video, we're going to take a look at the S&P 500, a couple key indicators, and check in on the Semiconductors SMH, the Energy ETF XLE, and the Nasdaq Biotech IBB. So stay tuned. Okay, let's start off here. I've got the weekly chart up, and you can see that the weekly chart, we've had a very tiny little doji candle in here. Very compressed trading for this week. Yes, it was up 7.5 points, but the high and low for the entire week, and we did have 5 days of trading, was like 18 points. That was it. And we're bouncing above this trend line here. And it's actually a little channel that we've got. If you take these two lows and project from this high here, a little channel that we've got in this fifth intermediate wave that we're working. Okay. And let's go back and take a look at the daily chart so you can see what happened and what's going on here the last couple of weeks. I've got these two trend lines. It looks like we've got a little bit of an ending diagonal. We're getting compression in here. I've had these drawn for several weeks now. And so far, it is staying within these trend lines, and it's just getting tighter and tighter and tighter. So watching this very closely. When I look at the wave count in here, I think we have 1, 2. I think we had a strong 3. We had a sideways 4, which was like a running flat. And then now I believe that we are working in here a 1, a sharp 2. We had a little 5-wave count to 3. We're going sideways right now. I think maybe we have one more move to the upside, and then we'll see what this thing wants to do. But the wave count is getting to the end in here, and I'm expecting some selling to kick in here in January. So we'll watch and see if that's what materializes. Let's take a look at the VIX. The VIX on the weekly chart continues to compress. This is tremendous compression going on. This just looks to me like a volcano getting ready to explode. And when we look at, let's see, I wanted to look at the put to call ratio also real quick. The put to call ratio on, this is the Chicago Board of Options Exchange on the equity put to call. So this is stocks only. The yellow is what I highlight when it gets below 0.60, and this is 18 days in a row. This is the longest stretch in 3.5 years. And this is like a big flag waving that we have got extreme bullishness. So when you read this, what this means is like Friday, 64 puts for every 100 calls. And you sit back and say, well, that doesn't seem so low. But you got to remember, the market has an overall optimistic, bullish bias to it. People have a tendency to buy more calls than they do puts, etc. So that's why you have to look at the ratios slightly differently. And this is something I have got over 10 years worth of data that I've got in here in this spreadsheet. And right now, this is like a very strong flag waving that there is extreme bullishness going on. And of course, we're seeing it in multiple places. All right, let's take a look at the semiconductors real quick. And I grabbed the wrong highlight there. Semiconductors. This has been breaking down over the last 4 weeks. This is a weekly chart, and this was up, it was down 9 cents for the week. So we're getting a little tight compression in here the last couple of weeks. And it hasn't really broken down seriously yet, but I'm watching this trend line. And this is the trend line of this whole rally from that January, February 2016 low that a lot of the market, a lot of the indices, and a lot of the stocks have put in and rallied since that time. And this whole sequence, this is the trend line for it, watching to see if this is going to hold. And all you have to do is look at a lot of the semiconductor stocks and see that they are getting hit with selling right now. Okay, that's the semiconductors. We'll take a look at XLE, the energy ETF. This is very interesting. It's got a strong little uptrend going on right here. It's short term right now. And I've got a question mark by this B wave because I'm really not quite sure if the B wave ended here or if it's doing one of these and it's going to end up here. Okay. Now I do think this is the first leg right here. This is a 5-wave sequence. I'm calling wave A. Now I'm working and looking for the B wave to play itself out. It's always possible that if the B wave completed here, that what we're doing is this is 1, working a 2, and then we come back down again and start working a 5-wave sequence to the downside. You know, those are the two possibilities I'm looking at. What is this trend line? This is the trend line from the 2002 low that was shattered in the whole move to the downside in 2015 when the stocks were really getting hit and selling off in this whole move from the high of, what is this, June of 2014 into that January 2016 low. So real key watching this right now, but you know, there are some really, really nice plays going on in the oil, energy, and oil services stocks. They are moving right now. All right, so that's energy. And then the last one we'll take a look at is IBB. I think IBB broke this trend line several weeks ago, and what it seems to me is that it's pulled back to this trend line. It's kind of hugging it. Now, the real test is going to be is can it continue to push, or if it's going to close back down below the blue line, the blue moving average, which is my 10-week moving average. You see how it's crossed below the 21-week in here? Okay, that hasn't happened. It did it back here, and it really didn't go anywhere. Now, when it's happened before, you know, we got some pretty good sell-off back over here in the middle of 2015. You know, so this combined with the trend line break makes me a little wary about what's going on right now. And we got a very compressed trading this last week. It was up a whopping 34 cents for the entire week. And, you know, an inside, very tight little inside trading. You get compression like this, yeah, it may carry on for maybe another week or so, but a lot of times it means expansion. You know, it's going to cycle between compression and expansion, and you're going to get a big move coming. And so that's what I'm watching for here. And the real key is it going to close back down below that 10-week moving average and resume this break. And I've got this little trend line here that if it starts to do that, this looks like a little short-term top possibly. But, you know, first things first, we got to see is it going to continue to push to the upside or break back down below that 10-week moving average. So that's the picture on IBB. I mean, it's had a nice counter trend rally here after the sell-off from the highs back in the middle of 2015. And so the real question is, are we resuming this move right in here? Is this the move that we are about to resume? That is the question. And we got to let price tell us what it wants to do. So that's what we're paying attention to right now. And you know, all you got to do is look at a bunch of the biotech stocks, and you can see that there's a wide discrepancy in terms of some things that are going on. You look at Gilead and Celgene and some of the others. So, all right, that's it for this weekend. Everyone have a wonderful Christmas and a wonderful holidays if you're celebrating another event this week or at this time of year. And be safe travels, and we'll talk to you on the next video.